morning everyone, and welcome to a brand new video where I am on what is now known as the Cloud Trail, and it's the former Midland Railway from Derby via Melbourne all the way down to nearby Ashby de la Zouch. We're just leaving the village of Melbourne behind. There used to be a station down there which we'll talk about in a moment, and straight away we're presented with this beautiful bridge. Look at this. That's stunning, isn't it? Some beautiful stonework on that. Wow. Look at that lovely archway as well. A quick look on both sides. Yeah, so the line was completed and opened in 1868. Melbourne used to be a terminus for this line, but it was later extended down towards Ashby de la Zouch and opened in 1874. Just looking back at that bridge now, that's absolutely stunning. So I'm starting today on the site of Melbourne Station, that's off Melbourne Road, and we're going to take the journey off towards Chellaston Junction, and this bypasses the site of the military training sidings and the River Trent. All those yellow lines you can see shooting off to the right hand side like tree branches and twigs. Now that is the military sidings. I tried so hard to find some pictures of this, black and white pictures, old stills, anything. Impossible, absolutely impossible to come by. So I gave it a really good go. I managed to find some lovely pictures of other places like the stations and even the viaduct, but unfortunately this one was not meant to be. Once passing the military training sidings, we come across the River Trent. We then cross that. I did a little bit of drone footage of that, but it's not very high due to the East Midlands Airport flight routes being nearby. We then cross the Trent Mersey Canal at Sarson's Bridge before having a little look at the quarry at Chellaston, the old engine shed, and finally finishing off at Chellaston East Junction. Now the 22nd of September, way back in 1930, so almost 90 years ago, passenger services were withdrawn at Melbourne Station, so it had about 60-70 years worth of life, but being one of the earlier railways, 1930 seems such a long time ago. 1939 it was reopened as a military depot, and all this land to our right hand side, there was hordes and hordes of former military sidings. Now it stayed like this until 1945, when it was handed back. The line was handed back to the London Midland Scottish Railway, the LMS, and it continued to operate as a freight only line until May 1980. So relatively recent compared to a lot of lines that closed in the 50s and 60s and 70s. So two beautiful bridges again. So this is the third and the fourth one along this route so far. So that's private farm access. That is going over to the old site of the military railway. I've seen no way of getting on there, unfortunately, so far for us to have a look at, which is a shame. Next up is Trent Lane, that's this one. And that too potentially used to be access to the military sidings. Underneath Trent Lane, this is apparently where you take your horse. That's so peculiar, isn't it? I'd be worried about banging my head on that. Oh, horse riders. Horses are not allowed on the other dust path. Weird. Now I brought us for a little look on top of Trent Lane. So there's the view back to where we just come from. So we started about half a mile in that direction, and Sarson's Bridge and the River Trent, we're back down there in a moment. So other than farmland, it's mostly occupied over there by a self-storage facility for individuals with containers and secure units and whatnot. And the last part before we get to the River Trent is just really long grass. So not going down there, but hopefully I find you a picture or two to see what it once looked like as the military training sidings. So we're currently on some sort of like a stone viaduct. Now down there, that's where your military sidings used to be as well, and they'd finish around about here. There's some sort of foundation just there, look, of an old building, and the River Trent is a little way behind those bushes over there. So this is roughly as far as it would have come. So there potentially was some sort of compound here. I don't know if I can really get you to have a look down there. It looks like there's some archways down there. So potentially, I imagine this floods quite easily as well with the River Trent. There we go, look. So again, we could just make out some archways either side. We're about to cross the River Trent about 200 yards further up. Right down on the Trent Mersey Canal, come down, just have a little look underneath the bridge where the line crosses over. Nice little stone bridge on the canal here as well. So Chellaston is a mile or so over there. So it's bridge 11A for the canal. And back above the Trent Mersey Canal, notice on the right it's a flat riveted top sidewall there. On that side it's completely different, look. It's got a slight curve to the top of it. I don't know if you can really make it out. If you stand there you can just about see it, where this side completely flat. Wonder why that was then. There's the canal down there, look, heading back towards Shardlow and Sawley. And on that side heading towards Willington and Burton-on-Trent. Lovely little relic of the railway back there on the grass. I think that's probably been left there as a bit of a monumental reminder, I suppose, of what was once there. Because of course there was a junction here, and it went into the engine shed, which we visited in September last year. Now that is hidden within these trees. There were a few sidings in there, and it was also used as a engine shed for storage of steam locomotives at the end of steam, or towards the end of steam, on our British railways. I'm going to have a wander through here and follow this trail, because I know there'd be a few of you that didn't see the lost engine sheds in the woods. I'll put a link to it, but I'm going to see if I can find it again, just to have a little look at what it's like in the peak of the summer season. That's truly remarkable. So if you've not seen that video, I think I did it about, I put it on about June time. If you want to go have a look at that, I'll put a link to it as well. It's well worth a look. So now I'm going to try and make my way back out of here without eating anything I don't want to eat, and head off towards Chellaston Junction. Right, just coming out onto the track bed again, leaving the woods behind. To be more accurate, Chellaston Junction, it's Chellaston East Junction, its proper name. And it's a little bit down here. And that'll be about it for today. Also to note, the land right next to the engine shed we've just had a little look at, it was also a quarry, Chellaston Quarry, which closed a long time ago. And there's some old ruins of buildings in there as well, which I managed to get on my other video. But it's worth a little look around if you get down here at any point. I don't know if you can make that out, but right in the centre of your screen, right there, there's an old colour light signal, which would have been the signal for leaving the Ashby line onto the main line right next to us, which runs between Sawley, Long Eaton and also Willington and Burton on Trent the other way. We'll try and get a photo of it so you can see it better. Yeah, so I've took a still photo of it with a bit of a zoom on it, so it's a free aspect. I suppose in 5 months' time you'll be able to see it, no problem. Okay, I hope you've enjoyed this little walk, about 1.5 to 2 miles along the former Derby to Ashby Zouch Melbourne Railway. It's been really nice. What I want to do at some point is get back to where I started this one and head off down towards Tong and off towards Ashby Zouch. Like, subscribe, comment, thank you very much. I'll see you in the next one. Take care, bye bye.